name's Chris. I work at Herbsaint restaurant. I'm the pastry chef, and today we're going to be making chocolate pavlovas with chocolate ice cream and citrus salad and Earl Grey whipped cream. When you're using chocolate, you want to make sure that you use a good quality chocolate. If you're going to spend money on something, you want to spend money on chocolate. And this is Schaffenberger chocolate, which is super nice chocolate. But you can also use, you know, the Godiva chocolate chips that you see in the grocery store at the Whole Foods. So you just want to chop these up. So they're about, I would say, a ½ inch square. And if you use the chocolate chips, you don't have to chop them, obviously. So we're going to chop this chocolate all up nice and fine, so we can fold it into our pavlova. Next up for our pavlova, we're going to separate our egg yolks from our egg whites. It's very important that you let your egg whites come up to room temperature. They will have a much higher volume when you whip them. It's also important that you don't get any egg yolk into your egg white, because you can whip and whip and whip, and you'll never get any air into your egg white. And you can do this by hand. It's not impossible to whip egg whites. You can do it. It just takes a little elbow grease and a big whisk. So, also we're going to put in a little tiny bit of cream of tartar into the egg whites, and this helps stabilize the egg whites. And by stabilizing it, you have a much firmer white, and it keeps it from breaking. So we're going to turn the machine on, and we're going to have ready our sugar. So we're going to put a cup of sugar into 3 egg whites once they start to get foamy. You see how you have a nice light foaminess? We're going to start to add the sugar very slowly. You want to turn down the machine a little bit, otherwise you're going to have sugar flying out at you. And add it very, very slowly. Egg whites, like I said, are temperamental, but you know, you can tolerate it. Turn it up some more. Add a little bit faster. Now we're going to turn it up. And I'm going to put it back on just a little bit more. I want it to be a little bit stiffer. The eggs aren't going to whip anymore. They've taken all the air they can, and they've taken in all the sugar they can. So next, we're going to take some cocoa, and I use Dutch processed cocoa, which has been processed with an alkali. It's a little bit darker, and I'm just going to sift this cocoa into the egg white. I'm going to take the chocolate that we chopped up earlier and just pour it into the bowl. And this is so easy, your friends are going to think you're a genius. And we're just going to fold it in gently. And when I say fold, I don't mean stir. I mean, you go towards it, you start in the center and you pull up. You go and you pull up and you pull up and you turn the bowl. You pull. I learned this by watching Julia Childs. And there we go. And it's okay if there's some streaks of cocoa, and it's okay if there's some streaks of white. It will be a beautiful meringue when you're done with it. Okay, so we're going to take these and scoop them out. I'm scooping them onto parchment paper, but you can scoop them out onto a Teflon cookie sheet. They'll bake it perfectly. And if you don't have a scoop, like I have a portion scoop, you can always just use a spoon or a measuring cup, quarter cup measuring cup. That will work well too. You want to make sure that you get a little chunks of chocolate into every one of these cookies. There's nothing. Everybody wants a little chunk of chocolate. So I'm just going to stick this into into my preheated oven. So while your meringues are in the oven baking, they're going to take about a half hour, so you can, have a leisurely cup of coffee and cut your citrus salad. Right now I'm going to cut up some oranges and some satsumas. These satsumas came right from the farmer's market. It's citrus season, so you should definitely go to the farmer's market and get all the citrus you can buy. It will last up to a month in the refrigerator cupboard. And kumquats. And so I'm going to start out with the kumquats. They're the rind is completely edible, so I'm just going to slice these up super thin. The thing about the kumquat that makes it kind of unmanageable sometimes is that for such a little fruit, they've got giant seeds. So you just want to sort of dig out the seeds while you're slicing. And if you don't, they don't have to be these thin little rings. If you would prefer to do thicker rings, that's totally fine. The entire kumquat is edible, like I said, so it will be perfectly delicious even if it's a little bit bigger. So we're going to supreme the satsumas and the oranges. And we're going to start out by cutting the top and bottom off the satsuma. What you want to do is you want to take and you just want to sort of peel the skin and the pith off with your knife. It's going to kind of look like a little soccer ball. Get all that pith off. And what we're going to do is, in between each segment, we're just going to slice. It's sort of like if you were having a grapefruit for breakfast. You're just slicing out each segment. That way you're left with the delicious flesh from the inside. And these satsumas are amazing. They're very, very sweet. And they're really juicy. So I'm going to make sure you get all that juice into your little salad bowl. So our meringues have come out of the oven, and they are a delightful little crispy, airy cookie. They're going to go in the bottom of the bowl and wait for us to whip some cream. This cream I have steeped with Earl Grey tea, and it's nothing more than taking heavy cream and putting an Earl Grey tea bag in with it. You can use any flavoring in your whipped cream or no flavoring at all. I think with this, the Earl Grey is great. You could use cinnamon, you could use nutmeg, you could use any sort of holiday flavor that you want. Probably not peppermint, but anything that will be delicious with chocolate and citrus. So I'm going to pour a little bit of this cream into my handy mixer. And again, you can whip cream by hand. It's not impossible. It just takes a little bit of elbow grease. This is just easier. There we go, some perfectly whipped cream. I've made chocolate ice cream here at the restaurant, but you can use, any chocolate ice cream that you get from the store, unless you want to make your own ice cream, which I highly encourage. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your ice cream scoop or your spoon or whatever, and you're just going to crack your cookie that you've worked so hard to make. And you're going to get a big scoop of chocolate ice cream. This flavor combination reminds me of the holidays so much. All I can think of is, Christmas morning with your orange and your stocking. And so we've got our chocolate cookie and our chocolate ice cream, and now we're just going to take some of our citrus salad that's been macerated with sugar. We're just going to put it around the edge. I want to make sure we get some of the juice in there to the bottom. And then we're going to take and just put a nice healthy dollop of cream on it. And there it is. chocolate meringue cookie with chocolate ice cream, citrus salad, and Earl Grey whipped cream.